Tonight, on a special edition of Evening. Looking for a one-of-a-kind getaway? We'll visit some of the most memorable destinations in Washington State.
Well, hello. Welcome to Ferry Cove.
Drivers and passengers,
Sleep aboard this ferry-themed rental. Stay at a fort with a Hollywood connection. And travel back in time at these historic hotels.
This is an iconic place.
Hey, I'm Jim Dever in Port Townsend, and welcome to a special show all about unique getaways. There are quite a few of them right here at Fort Warden.
Congratulations, Ensign Mayor.
Looking for a getaway fit for an officer and a gentleman? Enlist in a vacation where that classic Richard Gere movie was filmed, historic Fort Warden. This former military base, built in 1902, features dozens of accommodations for overnight stays. No two are the same.
It's really a great place whether you're looking to get away from the city for a week or just a couple of days.
The Commander's Duplex boasts original tin ceilings and a vintage radiator with built-in bread warmer. The non-commissioned officers' row features 2, 3, and 4-bedroom units, including welcoming features for guests with disabilities.
We want to make sure that the park is accessible for everyone.
Alexander's Castle from 1883 predates the property's military history. It was a local man's gift to his Scottish fiancée.
Unfortunately, his bride-to-be, while he was building this castle, married someone else, and so she never came over.
His broken heart may have been soothed by the spectacular coastal view.
We have 2 miles of sandy beach coastline right here at the fort that are just steps from all of the accommodations. We have kayak rentals, so if you're looking to get on the water, you can do that.
After a day at the beach, guests can hang out at the Guardhouse Pub, where they once served military justice.
Sit in a jail cell if you want and eat your meal or have your beer while you're here.
No matter how you choose to pass the time, you'll be at ease with this getaway to the past.
A very quintessential experience that you're really only going to find here at Fort Warden.
So many great year-round options, and many of them are pet-friendly. Well, now let's head to a vacation getaway on Whidby Island that is very popular with fans of ferries. Here's Saint.
your attention please. We are now arriving at our destination.
With its exterior painted that familiar white and green,
Well, hello. Welcome to Ferry Cove.
and historic ferry photos on the walls, the inspiration for Ryan Anderson's Whidby Island Airbnb is clear.
So it's kid camps meets national parks meets ferry is basically the theme. The idea is that you come here and feel like I'm a kid again.
His waterfront house in Clinton does feel like summer camp. One bedroom is a salute to Disney's Parent Trap. Another is the bunk room everybody wanted when they were a kid. And then there are the campy touches, like this loudspeaker.
Attention campers, please return the kayaks immediately.
But head down to the basement to truly climb aboard this getaway.
Washington State Ferry, come on.
Ryan, who also owns a construction company, built this recreation of the ferry Tokite himself, right down to the life rings. It's so realistic, the only way to confirm you're not on a ferry is to pay close attention to the details. Ryan paid close attention to details too. He had an expert color match all the paint from the real ferry and recorded the announcements himself.
Drivers and passengers, return to your vehicles.
And every time we get on the ferry, I'm with my camera and my notepad and my iPhone, I'm walking around, and they all got to know me. And they're like, oh, here's that guy again. Here he comes.
He even made this view of the Clinton dock on his faux ferry using his iPhone.
I really liked that, the way it turned out.
There's yet another twist in the basement, captain's quarters, straight out of the Humphrey Bogart movie African Queen. Ryan's construction company, R.W. Anderson Homes, plans to make more fantasy spaces like Ferry Cove.
It's fun to know that people can kind of bring out their inner kid for a weekend, and it means a lot to me.
Best of all, you can sit on the porch at Ferry Cove and watch the real one come and go. And once you've arrived, you won't have to wait in any lines to enjoy this ferry getaway.
Thank you for sailing aboard the Washington State Ferries. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Very, very nice. Now from a home with all of the excitement of a boat to a boat with all of the comforts of home. Let's go to Gig Harbor. This salty place to stay exists because of an addiction.
We have a problem, and it's called, there's no boat we haven't ever met that we didn't love. We love boats.
At Harborside at the dock, you can lay your head in a cozy berth in one of 5 boats.
We have Shamrockin', which is our smallest, coziest boat. We've got Blue Goose, and it has 2 staterooms that have ensuite heads, or also known as bathrooms. This is the Golly Wobbler. Then this boat right here is Lila. And Lila was made by John Fluke Sr., who invented the multimeter.
Yeah, watch your step.
Michelle's future son-in-law took the helm of the redesign of the Lila, along with Michelle's daughter. They navigated her from dowdy to dreamboat.
There's a big radar array right here that you actually put your face inside to look at it. But we thought a coffee bar seemed a little more practical.
The biggest boat in this getaway fleet is the Linmar, a 1932 78-foot classic wooden yacht. Made in New York for the Marlin Firearms family, this boat traveled the East Coast, the Caribbean, and Canada, where it dodged the draft during World War II.
The lore goes, Mr. Marlin said, if you want my ammunition for the war, you may not also have my yacht.
The Linmar settled in San Francisco, where rock stars slept in her bunks.
Elton John has stayed on this boat. The Rolling Stones stayed on this boat.
In 2006, a fire nearly destroyed this boat, but it rose from those ashes, and now it sleeps 12.
Welcome to the cruise quarters. This is my most favorite room on all of Linmar.
The Linmar is also the only one of the fleet of 5 boats that's available for charter.
We get so many people from Seattle who just want to have a staycation since we're an hour away. We also have people who have come from all over the world.
Whatever you do not call this a boat-tel.
Our daughter hates the term.
But do chart a course for this one-of-a-kind getaway, because there aren't many hotel rooms where you can peer through the portal of a piece of maritime history.
They just get here and they all of a sudden feel like they're in a different place, because there is no place like this that we know of.
You can find Harborside at the Docks boats on Airbnb and Vrbo.
More one-of-a-kind destinations still to come. The campground that makes sleeping under the stars more luxurious. Plus, a Geodome getaway that comes with epic mountain views. Local stories make a difference. With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Hey, this is Saint with another unique getaway. How about spending the night in history? At the Browns Point Lighthouse near Tacoma, you can sleep in the former keeper's cottage that dates back to 1903. Originally used by Oscar Brown and his wife Annie, the cottage has 3 bedrooms, sweeping views of the grounds and water, and is decorated with things you'd find in a home back in the 1920s. But best of all, it gives guests a glimpse of what life was like at this historic spot that has been guiding ships into the port of Tacoma for more than 120 years. You can book a minimum 2-night stay on both Airbnb and Vrbo.
Unique getaways, that's what we're celebrating on this special edition of Evening. And here's a good one. It's an Asian sensation, now right at home on the Washington coast. A new kind of campground in Long Beach is making sleeping under the stars easier and a lot more luxurious. We asked Josh Simpson, general manager of Snow Peak Campfield, Long Beach, who comes here.
A lot of first-time campers. One of the theses of this project was to try and remove as many barriers that keep people from camping.
So if one of your camping barriers is where's the spa, this is your place. It has one, complete with an Alder Grove view. You don't even need to set up a tent here.
We have what we call tent suites, where we set the entire campsite up for the guest, bedding, tables, kitchen, fireplace, the tent itself, and it's just like a hotel room at that point. You just show up with your sleeping bag and pillow and you're ready to camp.
If tenting is not your thing, try a jubako cabin.
Jubako is the Japanese word for tiny home. Those are fully self-contained units with climate control, bathrooms, kitchenettes, refrigerators, luxury bedding.
Snow Peak is a Japanese outdoor brand that's made high-end camping gear for 65 years. The company also owns 13 luxury campgrounds in Japan and Korea, where people can try the gear in the wild.
Well, one of Snow Peak's missions is to restore humanity through that connection to nature.
This is their first campground in the States, and it's bringing more than cool camp toys.
Cooking on the fire, this is a big part of Snow Peak.
It's also bringing Japanese-style camping to America, from onigiri rice balls in the camp store to an emphasis on communal spaces.
Asian campgrounds tend to be more open fields rather than tucked away in the trees.
It all comes together to seamlessly blend Mother Nature and human nature. Long Beach architect Eric Fagerland helped build this place. Now, he's enjoying its very first night market.
Grand opening was the favorite part, watching people use what we came up with.
As the sun goes down, campers commune with area artisans. And friends and families gather around campfires.
I like sleeping in a tent. I like spending time with my family and friends.
Snow Peak Long Beach is both a place to get away from it all and get together.
Almost everyone you see has a smile on their face and is just relaxed and unplugged and having a great time, and this is definitely that.
Okay, Snow Peak Long Beach named by Time as one of the world's greatest places 2024. If you're looking for a cozy getaway, we have one in Snohomish County. In fact, the views are as good indoors as they are out. Here's Saint.
We are right on the border of Gold Bar and the Sultan.
Just an hour from Seattle, at the base of the Cascades, is the Sky Valley Geodome, a magical, spherical getaway.
People love to stay somewhere that's not like their normal home, right? So it's a really fun, unique spot.
This has kind of all the amenities of a house. We just really compacted it down to a very small footprint.
The shape and layout makes it feel downright spacious, especially when the curtains are open.
Mount Bering is just like framed in the middle of Sky Valley. It's absolutely gorgeous. At the right time of the day, the sun actually glistens off of Wallace Falls. You get like kind of all the highlights. It's a pretty special spot.
On nice days, you can lounge in the hammock, hang out on the patio, or soak in the cedar hot tub. For a cozier stay, practice yoga on the hardwoods, eat a nice meal, snuggle up on the couch, and wait for the sun to go down.
At night, it's just really like you sit in there, it's just a very special space.
Our curtains close and it becomes a huge movie theater, essentially.
Yeah, and there's a nice little kind of wood stove that still gives you kind of a cabin-y vibe.
But the element guests love most, the mini dome adjacent to the big one, which is a well-appointed bathroom.
And you're soaking in the tub with the rain, because it's Washington, so it's always raining, and it's perfect.
Colby and Jonathan love it because they live it. Their house is next door. They hope guests leave their corner of Washington State rested and restored.
The smells, the sounds, it's a whole...
Calms your nervous system.
It does. Something about the shape that it has an energy to it. It just makes you relax, it makes you have a fun time, and no matter what you're doing in there, it's just kind of elevated a little bit.
Also some great hiking around there. Those domes average about $300 a night, and they also have a tree house that you can rent.
Coming up, 3 historic hotels that will take you back in time.
Welcome back to Port Townsend's Fort Warden and our special show all about unique getaways. What's better than a brand spanking new hotel? Well, how about one with a story to tell? Here's a look at some of our favorite historic stays. Our trip to the past starts in the lap of luxury at Fremont Olympic Hotel in downtown Seattle.
This is an iconic place. This is the place where people want to be here for various reasons.
Its doors opened in 1924 as the Olympic Hotel and quickly became a place to see and be seen. Through the years, it's hosted dignitaries, presidents, and celebrities of all kinds.
It gives me goosebumps, you know?
The Fairmont recently underwent a $25 million renovation, updating the hotel by restoring a 1924 vibe.
We want to be in the heart of the community forever. We were there 100 years back, and we want to be for the next 100 years also.
The lodge at St. Edward State Park has given new life to a Kenmore landmark.
It is absolutely like going back 70 years. It was so similar to what it was then.
For 46 years, St. Edward Seminary was home to thousands of young men pursuing a life in the church. It closed in 1976 and sat empty for decades. Then, in 2021, the historical building was reopened as a one-of-a-kind resort.
It was about a $57 million investment to bring it back to life, but mostly the most important part was restoring what was here before. So everything that could be kept was kept and restored.
The former dorms are now luxurious guest rooms. The dining hall is a top-of-the-line restaurant serving Pacific Northwest cuisine. There's also 2 bars and a relaxing spa, creating a truly heavenly retreat. Our final historic hotel is located on the Olympic Peninsula. The Bishop Hotel was built in 1890 in Port Townsend. It's been everything from a boarding house to headquarters for the Owl Cigar Company.
We're kind of trying to embrace the historic value of the property, but definitely adding some modern vibes to it.
Jessica Jennings and Eric Wenberg bought the hotel in 2020. The couple remodeled it, keeping much of its original character. They also added a different type of vintage to the place.
We have an organic and biodynamic wine bar. We do fresh baked pastries and coffee in the morning. We have live music 3 days a week.
A perfect blend of the past and present. For more information about those places, for that matter, for more information about anything you see on today's show, just head on over to king5evening.com.
From jungle landscapes to a Miami Vice motif.
I was going for a, 80s neon.
Tour this funky Fremont vacation rental.
Welcome back to Fort Warden in Port Townsend. We have one more unique getaway to share, and this one has a tropical vibe. Here's Jose to tell us about it.
Down on Industrial Alley in Seattle's funkiest neighborhood, you will find a place for rent that fits right in.
This is Bar House Hotel, and we're in Fremont. During COVID time shut down, and me and my bandmate artist buddies kind of got together and looking for creative projects, and this place became vacant, and I was friends with the owner, landlord, so she let us come in here and make a mess of it and put all this funky stuff in her.
And that funkiness is everywhere you look.
This is the underwater room. I was trying to make it feel like you are actually underwater. So this is like where people come chill, play records, watch TV. Well, I found some graphics online, a lot of like stock photography and different things, and put them together to create these wallpapers that we had somebody make. Found different objects, table, rug, little fish. This is the jungle room. I really wanted to create spaces with, that you just get lost in and that you feel like you're in a dream in. And this is all just fake foliage that we found and screwed and wired and put up to make it at least appear like there's no screws and wires in there. Carpet is some nice cheap shag carpeting. This is the Miami Vice room. I was going for a 80s neon tropical nighttime theme. The neon lighting above, beautiful sunset painting behind, the mirrors behind you with the palm trees. I just tried to create like you're floating in neon, really.
So this is the bathroom, the flamingo bathroom. Inspiration for this room was kind of a kitschy 60s pink Florida beach motel vibe. Painted it entirely pink, put some sparkles on the floor, made it feel like the jungle was coming in.
Their reviews for the rental are very positive, although there are some exceptions.
It's been 99% positive. Every once in a while we get like a family down here and they're like, this is kind of weird for my kids and my baby. And I'm like, yeah, did you look at the pictures? There's a bar, you know, it's kind of weird. Like,
I like the idea of people having this very strange, surreal experience that you might not want to live in, but 2 or 3 days, like, is really fun.
Cool place. Thanks, Jose. The Bar House Hotel can be rented out on Airbnb for about $250 a night. Well, that's it for us. Hope your next getaway is a good one. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.